You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
Work on three. 1, 2, 3. Word.
Eyes up.
Go. Break it down.
Hit that quick. Let's go, Blue. Give me some juice.
Stay low, step to contact.
Set the angle. He can bring you down.
Catch, tight turn.
Make sure he's set. We're moving. Use that stiff arm when you need it.
Next level.
Stick it. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. I like it.
Hey, Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Boom, to the house.
Welcome to All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. We got a big show lined up for you from Detroit. We'll hear from Darren Waller. We've got Dexter Lawrence mic'd up for sound. But as always, we're joined by the head coach of the New York Football Giants, Brian Daboll, and just talk about this experience and how your players have adapted to practicing against another team.
Sure, it's really another step in the process of training camp. You get to go against a new team with some different schemes, different skill sets. And then it's competitive, so it kind of amps up a little bit, and it's good to go out there and have productive days.
Obviously, you're going through your evaluation process of all your players on the roster. I'm assuming that when you get back to the hotel and you start studying the practice tape, there's a lot of teaching moments in this.
Absolutely, that's what practice is for. Whether we practice against ourselves or practice against another team, there's always going to be some good plays and there's going to be some correctable plays, and I think that's the job of a coaching staff, is to identify the things we need to fix, show it to the players, explain to them why we need to fix them, and that's kind of been our approach, whether it be, again, in training camp back in New York or here.
I know that there's a lot of things that have to be determined, but like the one-on-ones, how important is that when you're evaluating players individually?
Well, I think one-on-one is really technique and fundamental work. If you're a defensive back going against a receiver, the receiver is going to have a better chance to win basically in that drill. There's no rush. The same thing in one-on-one pass rush. The defensive line, they know it's a pass. So it's really about honing in on your fundamentals, your techniques, and correcting them on a play-to-play basis during those periods.
Obviously, the first game is on Friday night against these Lions. How important is it to just flesh out the operation? I know you have the staff back,
Sure.
but it's still a new year, like you always say.
None of us have coached in the game for a long time, called plays, made decisions. So it's good for the coaches as it is the players. And then with the players, they have an opportunity to go out there and compete and show how they improved, and it's all part of the evaluation process.
For the fans that will watch the game on Friday night, what about game planning? Is there any game planning that goes into a preseason game?
No, very little. You're kind of running your core set of plays, and it's really about the evaluation of the players, but still you want to be competitive out there and see who competes for a 60-minute game. But really it's about evaluating your team, where you're at as a team in terms of your roster, and seeing how you can build the following week.
And then finally, the importance of the game. Players can only get so many reps in practice, right? The ones and the two. So for those guys that are on the back end of the roster that have an opportunity, the game is very important, isn't it?
Yeah, it's live football. So finishing runs, making tackles, holding guys up in the punt return game. I mean, everything is a great opportunity for, particularly I'd say, the young players or players that are fighting for a roster spot, and it's great for our process.
Coach, we appreciate a couple minutes.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you.
That's New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll. When we come back, sights and sounds of the joint practices between the Giants and Lions here on All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery.
The Giants Foundation will host a 5K race and kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October the 8th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. All participants will receive a commemorative T-shirt, and after the race, stay for a post-race festival with appearances by Giants legends and a live DJ. Register now at giants.com/5K.
Welcome back to All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Let's take a listen to the sights and sounds of the Giants' joint practices against the Lions.
Looking forward to having a good competitive couple days here. Excited to be here.
Some new competition in, a different type of competition. Some damn good players too over there now on both sides of the ball.
What's good? What's good? First day out here, finna get this work in. First time getting to hit somebody else, let's work.
Hey, fellas, we may be practicing against another team, but it never will be, never has been about what they do. It's about what we do. We don't feel pressure, we apply. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go ahead, punch, and then get inside. Just get up the field a little bit. Hey, good. Keep that energy up. Hit it. Squeeze it.
Man, we in the D today, man. So we're showing with that blue collar NYC. Like, stay tuned.
This my dog JP out the building, man.
You know we on one today. So.
Real mangy.
Make sure we step the contact. We protect ourselves. Stay between your man and the ball. Move your feet.
You know what time it is. I ain't gotta say too much.
Hit out to 3. 1, 2, 3. Hit out. Hey, keep that up, P. Punch. Nice. Bam. There we go.
That's the attitude right there. That's the attitude right here.
Feeling good. The weather's beautiful. Great day for ball.
Great work.
Giants on me, Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Obviously, a lot of spirited good work getting done in 2 days, and then the preseason game on Friday night. When we come back, we'll hear from one of the key players for the Giants this season. Darren Waller joins us. Coming up next on All Access, Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery.
Say something nice about the Giants. Say something nice about the Lions.
I ain't got nothing like.
I like their logo. They the Giants.
They got some cool uniforms. They got cool uniforms.
Well, the Giants.
The lion is my favorite animal. Shout out to my dog Xavier McKinney, man.
They're cool. KP, love you, brother.
Billy Sims. I grew up in Flint. Billy Sims is my guy. He even recruited me to go to Oklahoma.
Josh Pascal, love you, bro.
Little Giants was one of my favorite football movies. But
one of my favorite movies is The Lion King.
Great competition today.
Momo, number 33, one of my favorite teammates of all time.
They got my SC brother over there. I'm around St. Brown. They got my boy from the Midwest, J-Mo. They got one of my former teammates, Khalid. Those are my guys, and Khalid Dorsey. Shout out to the OG, the true Detroit Lion, Dick LeBeau, man. Hall of Famer.
I like y'all got y'all name on the back of y'all uniform.
Y'all color cool. Y'all, that's cool color.
Welcome back to All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. We're joined by Giants tight end Darren Waller. And Darren, first and foremost, how good is it to go against another team and get some reps in?
It's always a great experience. It's a very competitive environment. It gets you more acclimated to game-like situations, going against somebody that doesn't do what your defense has done every day. So it gets you your brain going on, week-to-week game plans, just to get you warmed up for things like that.
Does it also help you get a gauge of kind of where you're at in your progression getting ready for the season?
Absolutely. Physically, Dave and Coach Campbell, they challenged us by putting together like a longer practices than what we've had, longer drives, increased number of reps in each period. So it's testing you physically, testing you mentally, seeing how you respond in certain situations. They give you time to sit down for like it's, the other team is on the field. And so it's really game-like out here.
So you're getting a chance to work with Daniel Jones, and obviously you guys have had a really good camp together. What's it been like getting to know him and learn about him as a player and him you?
It's been a cool journey so far, just getting to know him and see, he's a very even-keel guy. So no matter how things may be going on the field, if you miss something, if you're really hitting, he's not getting too high or too low. And so we can have conversations about what each of us sees without any type of ego being involved. And also, have fun doing it. So I feel like working with him, he's just a true professional, one of the hardest workers we got. And, just inspires you to want to go out there and be like, you don't want to let that guy down,
When you knew you were getting traded here, what were your perceptions of the Giants, and has that changed at all since you've been here?
I knew it was a top-class organization, because growing up, my dad was a Giants fan, so it was always on. NFC East was always on in the house. So I've seen the Giants from when I was a kid, since 2000 probably till now. So I know about just the first-class organization that it is, and to see it actually be like the truth and even better than advertised has been really cool. And just to meet all the people in all the different departments and work with the coaches and guys on the team as well. It's been an amazing experience.
What are some of the things that you think that you can bring to this offense? Obviously, your size and your physical matchup creates problems for a defense, but what are some of the intangibles?
Just discipline on a day in, day out basis. I think people can see the discipline I have and the routines that I have. How I try to take care of my body on a day in, day out, no matter how the day's gone. And just the next play mentality of whether, go out there, I don't make a play, or I do make a play, coming back to the next play with a sense of humility and just presence to the moment, and not letting whatever the results may be get me too high or too low. And kind of like I just said about Daniel, and just going through the journey with confidence.
All right, so you come from Las Vegas, where there's plenty of distractions there.
Yeah.
New York City, though, is a little bit different, right? Is it kind of weird? There's a whole other football team in town with Aaron Rodgers. There's the Yankees and the Mets and the hockey teams and basketball. How's that adjustment been for you?
It's been a lot different. It's a lot bigger. You talk about looking at the strip in Las Vegas, and then you come here, and I sit on my balcony and look at the Manhattan skyline all the way to downtown, and it's just like, this is a lot bigger deal. There's a lot going on. Like you said, there's, I don't know how many, almost double-digit professional sports teams here. So it's new, but it's fun to get out there and experience it, experience different environments, see the area, just be a local in the area, having a lot of fun.
Final question. When you come into a program for the first time, obviously there's Saquon's a leader, Xavier's a leader, Dexter Lawrence is a leader, Leonard Williams, just to name a few. You have that veteran experience. Is it something you have to ease into as far as figuring out where your leadership role is?
Yeah, I feel like finding your leadership role in my situation is something that will come over time. I'm somebody that's, somebody explained to me once, like leading from the back, it's like an example of like wolves, like the leader in the front, but there's also somebody in the back to keep people from getting hit from behind. So it's like, I think my leadership style is more like, if I see somebody maybe hanging their head, going and telling them like, hey man, like whatever happened to this point doesn't have to define you going forward. Or like I said, just kind of silently leading by the way that, I go into the weight room or take care of my body after, and watch film and just know my assignments, things like that, and let people, see what you're doing, see your footwork before they hear what's coming out of your mouth, and, let it expand from there.
Darren, we appreciate a couple of minutes. Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
That's Darren Waller taking a couple of minutes to join us. When we come back in the program, Dexter Lawrence mic'd up for sound, plus Paul Dottino's interview with Trey Hawkins. All that and more on All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Welcome back to All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. One of the keys to the Giants defense is defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence. He was mic'd up for sound.
Good to see you, Brody. Yep. Hello. Here on this lovely Tuesday morning, about to get this work in against the Lions. I'm excited. The team excited. Let's go. Y'all chilling. What's going on, man? You good? You on our side today?
I don't know. You're going to keep everything in check today, right?
Yep, do my best.
Yeah, I know you will. I know you will.
It's smart, Dale.
Yep.
Take care of yourself. Be smart, but I mean, that's the first thing golf says to me. It's like, Dexter going, I'm like, oh yeah, he'll stay away from you, don't worry. So.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you tie my shoe for me real quick, please?
This one?
Yeah, it's loose. Thank you, man. Hey! Business as usual, man. Let's go out here and compete and whoop some ass, man. Hey, Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, baby.
Don't swing, because I'm ready. What's good, Chief? What's going on?
Yeah! Hey, Dex, let me get 2 claps. Woo!
pillow, Jared. Go. Hey, yeah, way to play on that run. Hey, tight end back. 180, what's that? Come on, little rook. What's good, Brody?
He was anchoring that middle right now.
Yeah, you see that?
Can't run it on you.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
180, what's that?
Sack.
You get me?
Sack.
I'll eat that.
Another one. They are saving these O-linemen, boy. D-line.
How'd it go?
Good.
Dexter certainly brings the energy in practice, in the games, and that infectious smile in the locker room. Now it's time to send it over to Paul Dottino, who had a chance to catch up with rookie defensive back Trey Hawkins.
So Trey Hawkins III was drafted in the 6th round by the Giants, and I know the expectations had to be high when you came out of Old Dominion, but how have they changed since you've been here with the club?
I feel like the expectations kind of stayed the same, especially for myself. I hold myself to a high standard, and I don't feel like nothing changed for me. I just want to keep working every day and keep getting better.
During the first few months that you're here with the Giants, have things surprised you at all or made you change your expectations?
As in the football-wise, I'll say no. Football is football at the end of the day, but I'll say things off the field as in recovering the body, I have to change a lot of things in that nature.
You are getting some work with the ones. Everybody's talked about that in the last week or so. As a football player, what does that tell you?
It just tells me that my work is kind of paying off. Been working my whole life for this moment, and I'm ready to take full advantage of it.
What about Wink Martindale's scheme may be familiar to you from your time at Old Dominion, or is it something that's totally different and you've had to dive in new?
It's a little different. Wink's more of a aggressive type of defensive coordinator, and I kind of like that.
You like the physicality, don't you?
Yes, sir. I like playing aggressive.
I remember in 2021, you had 76 tackles, which set a Old Dominion defensive backs record. So do you enjoy stopping a running play for no gain more, or do you enjoy forcing an incompletion more, and why?
I like doing both. It's no one or the other. It's like if the run plays comes to me, I love to stop the run every chance I get. I love to defend the pass every chance I get.
So many corners, though, they're not known for stopping the run. They just want to cover and be flashy, but you seem to like to hit, almost like a linebacker's mentality. Where does that come from?
It's just my mentality, how I grew up and how I'm raised, just being physical. It's just a mentality thing.
So you're always meant to be a defensive player, because some people would say at 6'2", running into 4.3s, you could have been a receiver too.
I play a receiver a little bit, but I feel like I like the defensive portion a little more.
The other day when you were after practice talking to some of the media, you said, I have to stay mellow and I have to stay consistent. How hard is that to do when you've been thrown into the spotlight of New York City and everybody says, wow, he's a draft choice, and they want to see big things from you right away?
I don't look too much into the media, but in the aspect of football, staying mellow is because you want to have good plays, you're going to have bad plays. Like, I feel like I had a solid day out there, but my very last play, I gave a touchdown to Amon St. Brown. So it's just staying mellow. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just continue to be consistent throughout the whole process.
People talked about you when you came out, that you had the size, the length, and the speed to be a legitimate prospect. When you went to Old Dominion to play 2 years, you come in as a safety and then converted to corner. What do you think your best skills are that translate to the NFL level?
Just my versatility. Like you said, being able to play safety and then corner. Just I'd say my versatility for sure, and being able to learn quick.
Well, I will tell you something so far. You've made a good impression on the New York Giants. The fans will certainly wish you the best of luck.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Hawkins certainly has gotten off to a fast start so far in training camp for the Giants. It will be a welcome addition for the 2023 season. That wraps it up for this week's show. Make sure you follow the Giants on Facebook.com/New York Giants, on the Giants homepage at Giants.com, on Twitter at Giants, and on Instagram and all the other social media platforms. We'll see you again next Saturday at noon Eastern on NBC4 New York for another edition of All Access Giants Training Camp, brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery.